Hello, my name is Carlos Mejia, and this week I will be discussing the impacts of materializing country risk. The focus will be on Argentina's current state of affairs, weeks after President Macri lost the primary election this past August. The discussion will center on currency devaluation and the detriment to the local economy, as well as the resulting whiplash on a global scale. Macri won the 2014 election and was sworn into office in 2015. His win saw Argentina shift to the right with a promise to strengthen institutions, introduce more pro-business policies, cut deals with foreign creditors, and realign Argentina's foreign policy towards a closer relationship with the capitalistic world. Macri's policy and drive for open markets and foreign capital investment has not yielded the expected impact on the economy. This worsened by a weakening currency, which has seen the dollar go from 8 to 9 pesos in 2014 to over 60 pesos today. Macri has faced uncontrolled inflation and steep devaluation trends. On August 12, 2019, Argentinians voted on the primary election. The left-wing candidate won with a landslide, gaining over 15 points over the incumbent. The results show a dissatisfaction with current results, giving an indication to who will win the election. A return to the left has bankers and investors worried upon a retraction on free market reforms. Conservative media outlets warned before the Sunday elections that investors would be displeased at a progressive victory. Nevertheless, voters delivered a resounding defeat to President Macri, punishing the incumbent for 4 years of economic crisis, hyperinflation, and a multi-billion-dollar loan from the International Monetary Fund. After the election results were announced, the peso lost nearly 30% of its value and the country's stock market plummeted by 10%. The collapse of the peso is likely to push inflation even further as investors and international banks fear that Argentina will return to the left, putting an end to the current push for neoliberal reform. Wall Street also experienced a steep fall as a result of rising geopolitical risks and fears of a recession, which sparked a broad market sell-off. The Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq indices dropped significantly, partly due to the rising concerns over Argentinian stability, in addition to challenges in China and Hong Kong. Reacting to the debacle, Macri announced changes to Argentina's bond payment schedule as well as currency control. A stunning U-turn from the pro-business leader who had formerly pledged to reverse the protectionist policies of his leftist predecessor. Argentinians, amidst the uncertainty, flocked to the banks in an attempt to secure their cash position. YPF, Argentina's flagship oil and gas major, had losses of over $12 billion overnight, given the results on the election. A retraction that continues to trend downward without an end in sight. This is bad news for Argentina, as one of their stepping stones for economic growth stems from non-conventional oil and gas investments in the Vaca Muerta Basin. The Vaca Muerta Basin hosts an unconventional shale gas formation, which is at the center of an energy revolution taking place in Argentina. Numerous direct and indirect developments related to production of the formation's resources are poised to generate multi-billion dollars in revenue for the region, which will drive future economic growth. Both international oil companies as well as national oil companies have committed to sizable investments in acreage along the Vaca Muerta region. Most notably, and in addition to YPF, Shell Oil Company has an aggressive drilling and development plan to explore and produce hydrocarbons successfully in the area. The Vaca Muerta Basin is the only unconventional play outside of the North America region where activity has already made the transition from exploration to full-scale development. The potential price is huge. Geographically, the Vaca Muerta shale is 3 times the size of the Permian Basin in the US, and it could turn out to be the next Permian if the right conditions are met. However, even those firms which have committed substantial capital appear to have concerns. For example, ExxonMobil has spent around 96% of its promised capital, but did not mention Vaca Muerta as a priority project in its recent earnings call. All eyes turn to YPF. However, the company is hardly in the best position to lead the charge. Argentina is banking on foreign direct investment to help kickstart the shale revolution and bring much needed dollarized export revenues. However, to this point, the government has forked more than 50% of the investment. With pressures on currency and financial disarray, and at the onset of policy shifts, governmental financial backing is at risk. The big question hovers around the viability of the investments in a country going through economic and political turmoil. Will companies throttle their investments given the detrimental state of the Argentinian economy? Will this golden ticket ever materialize for Argentina? Several facts point in the wrong direction. Thanks for your time.